beginning of the year, we ordered 300 hybrid buses, and that was something we promised. And why I'm proud about this is that originally, during the campaigns and mostly towards the end, my opponent were trying to, they were saying about me like, oh, she's not going to do anything. She doesn't have any contacts. She doesn't know anybody in Quebec. So when I took office and we were able to work really quickly with the STM and the government of Quebec, and there was an alignment. So and it worked out. So I guess not only am I happy because of the mobility it brings, and we're going to get those buses in 2020 starting to arrive, but also because it was a very clear proof that I can get things done. So that's one of the things I'm very proud of. Another thing I'm proud of is it's around mobility again. So there was restriction before we took office, and we took off those restrictions, and what happened is like an explosion of uses of that system, that service. And to me, that is great, because when I talk about mobility, it's about being creative and using all the tools that are available. So yes, there's buses. Yes, there is the Pink Line. Yes, there's the mobility squad. But there's also, where some people could maybe leave their car at home or not buying a second car because they can use the car sharing system. I'm happy about the mountain. And I know, some people could say, maybe the way it came out, because I wish it would have been, I would have been able to present it when I was ready to present the pilot. But ultimately, I'm very proud of that, because safety is important to us. Safety of all roads users. It's also important to protect the green lands we have. And in next week, we'll see, because actually not we'll see, the project will end, the pilot. And from there, we'll wait for the recommendation from the OCPM. Of course, the way I communicated the budget, that's for sure. I mean, I still stand by my position. It was necessary to make those investments, and there is, many more investments that needs to be done into our infrastructure, and especially around water pipes and everything. But the way that I did communicate that need and that necessity didn't work out for the population, and ultimately it didn't work out for me either. From that experience, I decided to never again say something that I'm not fully behind. Like I knew why I was doing it, but the way I communicated was far from who I am. And I think this is probably one of the reasons why people were upset. Yes, there was a tax raise, but also they were wondering a bit like, it's not the Valérie, I saw during the campaign or that I voted for. The way she talks to me doesn't resonate this time. Of course, I wish that we would be able to solve all the traffic problems, One thing I realized is, even though we're putting together measures like the mobility squad, which is it's very efficient, and we did more than, I think it's 3,000 interventions since it got launched in June. I am far from being done with mobility, of course. Mobility in the streets, I've talked about a few of the things we've put together, but I want to improve the work of the mobility squad. I want to find ways to minimize the negative impact of construction sites on Montrealers. It is important for me to remind them that 25% of those construction sites belongs to us, the city. Everything else is, private sector doing buildings because the economy is doing so well, or because we're doing the Champlain Bridge, which is the federal, and then the Turcot, which is from Quebec. But that being said, for me, it is my responsibility, or at least I take it this way, to try to coordinate and facilitate the life of Montrealers. So mobility is huge. Our buses are arriving soon, next year. The Pink Line, of course, there's going to be work on that front, and other, mobility projects like Le Tram de l'Est. So those are the things that I work on a lot. But anyway, all that to say that I will keep on working on preserving the diversity in Montreal.